Hi, I'm Amanda Salem, and tonight is your national news report about Latinx culture. We'll be featuring a bunch of different experts who know a lot about the culture. I'm here with my expert on Cesar Chavez, and I just have a few questions to ask you tonight. So who was Cesar Chavez?
Well, firstly, I just appreciate you having me on the show tonight, and
Yes.
I just wanted to say that Caesar was he was a union organizer, and he basically dedicated his entire life to trying to improve the treatment and the pay and the all around working conditions of minorities.
All right. Great. That's great. Where was Cesar Chavez born?
He was born near Yuma, Arizona. It was the year 1927 on March 31st.
So, in your opinion, why was Cesar Chavez important?
I believe Caesar was important because for his morals, he believed that more nonviolent approach towards bringing attention to these unnecessary and unfortunate and dangerous situations of these migrant workers. And basically through this, he developed and organized such things as the National Farm Workers Association, and that later became the United Farm Workers. And after that, he continued to lead marches and boycotts.
So, moving on, what impact did you think that he had on the community and the culture around him?
I think as a strong and smart individual, he actually left a long and lasting impact on his community. He brought that new knowledge of you don't have to fight fire with fire, you don't have to bring violence to more violence to solve a situation. You can solve problems with peace, and in the end, those solutions are a lot more successful. And also the whole aspect of pesticides and how they kind of contributed a little bit of health detriment to the immigrant workers on the fields and stuff. And unfortunately, all these hunger strikes that he did to bring awareness to all this dangerous and unfortunate mishaps to these immigrant workers, they believe that it led to his death on April 23rd of 1993. And that was in San Luis, Arizona.
Great, thank you. Hi, and welcome back. Today I'm here with an expert on La Llorona, and she's going to tell us a little bit about who La Llorona was.
Hi, thanks for having me, everyone. La Llorona was a Latin American folklore. She's one of the most popular oral legends, and she was a woman who married this guy and had 2 kids. Unfortunately, the husband left and remarried, but to find out, the woman that he married could not have kids, so the husband, the ex-husband, came back to La Llorona and was trying to take her kids from her. And out of such grief and such anger, she drowned her kids in the river, which was very, very unfortunate, but that is how the story of La Llorona came to be.
So, what impact did La Llorona have on Latino culture?
Honestly, she was more than just a character in folklore. I mean, she was told and passed down through generations and generations, and each generation had a different lesson or a different impact. But most commonly, parents used it to scare their children. Honest truth, but I think we all do it. It's almost like the boogeyman in modern days. So the parents would tell their children about the boogeyman or La Llorona and say that they were going to come get their children if they didn't behave. So it was almost like a disciplinary thing, but it was also told just for a good spooky story or just a thing that your grandparents would tell you. But I would say that she just had more of an impact because she's a legend almost. Like when you're passed down from generations to generations, a lot is said about you, and there's just a lot of lessons attached.
So, how does La Llorona scare children?
Well, you see, back when La Llorona was alive and she had her kids and drowned them in the river, they said that her screams were heard for miles and miles and miles. And so after she passed, people say that they would still hear her like bloody murder scream, like it was just kind of eerie and terrifying. So the story is that because La Llorona lost her children, that she goes after other children to like almost replace hers. And so they say that when you hear her scream, she's coming after your child, which is kind of, that creates the scare within little kids and things. And I think that sometimes fear is used, like parents, they install fear in their kids so they do better, which is, I think, a pretty good thing because it creates better children and it's harmless. I mean, they obviously think that it's real, but everyone knows that it's not. So I think it just instills a good little tale in them, and then kind of is what it teaches lessons, kind of thing.
Yeah, great.
Sure.
Today I'm here with my expert on Dia de los Muertos.
Hi.
Hi. So what is Dia de los Muertos?
The Day of the Dead is a Mexican holiday celebrated throughout Mexico, and particularly in central and southern regions. It's kind of used to celebrate, like, the passing on of your family members, because in this culture, death isn't seen as I mean, it's still a sad thing, but it's more of, like, a way of life. Like, it happens, it's a cycle. Like, they just celebrate all their family members that have gone, and they pray for them, and they remember them with, like, different food and flowers and different traditions. And it's really shown in the new Disney movie Coco, just how the Day of the Dead is, like, treated in Mexico and how they celebrate it and use it.
Yeah, exactly, and like the symbolism in Coco,
Yep.
with like the pictures on the on the mantle thing, and like how they can come back and forth through like reality and death.
Yeah, and the certain types of flowers that were used, and just the candles and the traditions and all that was really shown in Coco.
Yeah, exactly.
Go.
Hi, thank you guys for watching. Thank you to my experts for coming and speaking about these certain Latino aspects of the culture. And we'll see you guys next time.